Hey everyone. Tonight, I'm sharing a real spine-chilling story from Reddit. If you love horror, hit subscribe for more terrifying tales. Now, let's dive in. Don't watch this alone. Anne sat alone at the crowded bar, nursing her third daiquiri, though it felt like her sixth. Her first time drinking alone, but after months of futile grief counseling, she figured this was worth a shot. Yet, even now, the drink's sweetness tasted bitter-tainted by memories of Nancy, her sister. The image haunted her. A car riddled with bullet holes, blood splashed across the leather seats, and Nancy's face still perfect even in death as it lay on a cold slab in the morgue. "Mind if I join you?" A voice broke through her thoughts. Anne didn't need to look. She already knew what kind of man he was. Dark, coarse, trying to sound persuasive but failing miserably. No, thank you. Her flat tone should have been enough. "Come on, don't be like that." "I could make that drink a lot more fun," he pressed, his voice like sandpaper on her nerves. Anne sighed and downed the rest of her drink. "I'll pass." She stood, her coat brushing against the bar stool, realizing too late that the alcohol had her a little unsteady. "Where you headed?" The man followed her out, his persistence making her stomach churn. "You didn't even give me a chance." "Let me save you the trouble," she snapped. "I'm not interested. Pretty girls like you shouldn't be so rude." His voice turned darker. "Maybe someone needs to teach you a lesson." Before she could react, his hand gripped her wrist, forcing her back against the brick wall. "What's the rush? Let's have a little fun. Get off me." Anne struggled, but her intoxication dulled her strength. Her heart raced as panic set in. Then out of nowhere, there was a loud thwack. The man stumbled forward, crumpling to the ground. Anne blinked and saw a second man standing over him, clutching a briefcase. "You okay?" he asked, breathless. His square glasses reflected the dim streetlight, and his neat suit seemed out of place in this seedy part of Oakland. Anne steadied herself, her wrist still throbbing. "I think so. Thank you. I'm Ryan Jacobs." He glanced around nervously. He wasn't going to stop, so He gestured to the briefcase. Anne studied him. His awkwardness, the faint tremor in his hands. He didn't look like the violent type. She felt a small wave of relief. Anne Arnold's. Wait. Arnold's? As in Nancy Arnold's? His face fell. "I'm so sorry about your sister." The mention of Nancy twisted something deep in Anne's chest. "How do you know about that?" "It was on the news. Everyone knows." Ryan hesitated, then offered a small smile. "Look, you shouldn't be out here alone. Let me drive you home. Please." Anne wanted to say no, but the world around her spun in a way that made walking seem impossible. "Okay." Ryan's Chevrolet Corvair smelled faintly of cigarettes. "My dad used to smoke in here," he explained as they merged onto the freeway. "Where to?" "Vallejo, Fairmont Street." Anne leaned against the window, the cool glass easing her pounding head. "What brought you all the way to Oakland?" Ryan asked after a moment of silence. "Needed to get away," Anne muttered. "From everything." Ryan nodded but didn't press. For a while, the only sound was the hum of the engine and the faint crackle of the radio. "You're an artist, right?" he asked suddenly. Anne blinked, surprised. "How did you—" "Your sister mentioned it once in an interview. Said you were the most talented person she knew." Anne's throat tightened. She remembered Nancy's words, how her sister always believed in her. "I paint landscapes," she murmured. "I could never do that," Ryan said. "It takes a good eye." Anne glanced at him, noting the genuine curiosity in his tone. For a moment she felt a flicker of comfort, but it was short-lived. The sight of the Sacramento River brought her back to reality. Ryan broke the silence again, his voice softer. I lost someone too, my little brother. Last year. Anne turned to him, her guard rising. I'm sorry. He was murdered, Ryan continued, his grip tightening on the wheel. Some sicko. They caught him, but it doesn't matter. The anger doesn't go away. Anne's pulse quickened. I know what you mean. Ryan glanced at her, his eyes cold now. Do you ever think about it? About making them pay? Every day, Anne admitted, her voice barely a whisper. Ryan smiled, but it wasn't comforting. Then you're not alone. The car stopped outside Anne's apartment. She hesitated, her hand on the door. Thanks for the ride. Ryan didn't respond. He just watched her, his gaze unreadable. She felt his eyes on her back as she climbed the stairs, her unease growing with each step. Inside, Anne locked the door and collapsed onto the sofa. The television flickered to life, the news anchor's voice filling the room. Zodiac killer, now linked to the murder of Nancy Arnold's, remains at large. Authorities urge anyone with information to come forward. Anne froze as the screen displayed a police sketch. The face was unmistakable. Square glasses, neat suit, cold eyes. The glass of water in her hand shattered on the floor. A scream tore from her throat, but there was no one to hear it. Outside, a Chevrolet Corvair idled for a moment longer before night. Thank you so much for staying with me till the end. If you enjoyed this story and it sent shivers down your spine, please give this video a like. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me bring more stories like this to you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on the next chilling tale. Your subscription inspires me to create better and scarier content just for you. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and don't forget to watch your back. See you soon.